Hey, recognize this behind me? It's the Art Museum and the Science Museum here in Ōsaka on Nakanoshima. And this is part 3 of our trip, part 3 and the final part of our trip around Nakanoshima. First, a couple of things. If you haven't watched the first 2 parts, this is, Nakanoshima is a big island in the middle of Ōsaka City, in a river that has a lot of buildings like this, these museums and city hall and stuff like that. Part 2 ended here yesterday, and I have some things to say about part 2 in a second. But first, a little scope of today. This is the last third, the westernmost third of Nakanoshima. It's the part that I know least. I've only been here maybe a couple times. The middle part, part 2, that was a lot of businesses, a lot of big, I think some of them city buildings, but just a lot of big kind of rich office towers and stuff. My instinct, although I'm not sure, is that out here it's going to be a little bit quieter. Although still lots of corporate art, as they say. That's nice. So let's go north to the other river. Yesterday, at the end of the video yesterday, which was part 2 of Nakanoshima, I rode this bike onto a little platform or a little plaza by the art museum, and the guard came out and said, no, there's no bicycles allowed here. And indeed, I had passed a sign and not noticed it. So I said, oops, sorry. Now, after I did the whole video, I went home and I was all excited because I thought I did pretty good. And I went home and I watched the video on my computer, and I think for much of, I'm not sure, but I think for much of that video, I was riding my bike in places that you weren't supposed to ride your bike. That's why all those businessmen who are walking like in the plaza or the plaza outside a hotel and stuff were like looking at me like, what's that guy doing here? That's why there are no other bicyclists there. So that kind of sucked. Probably shouldn't have been doing that. That's why I had to wind my bicycle through some of those little obstacles, because you're not supposed to ride your bicycle there. That's why they're there. So I was so excited to make my video, I wasn't paying attention to that stuff. So today, I may not be able to go to all the places that I would like, just because I now realize that. See, for example, can I go up this ramp here? Can't even get to the ramp. Well, anyway, the ultimate goal today is to. Does it say no bicycles? If it doesn't say, then I don't care. Oh well. The main goal today is to get to the very, very end of Nakanoshima, the actual literal last little point. Kind of like I did over on the east end on part 1. I'm not sure how close you can get. And it may not be that far away. I gotta pad this video out somehow. Let's see. Normally I like to kind of ping pong between the 2 rivers. This is the north side of the river over here, which is the Dojima River. We're missing some good stuff by the Dojima River. We got to get over there somehow. The south river is called Tosabori River, but we got to go check out the Dojima River a little bit better, because I don't know what's over here. The Warmth Craft Manufacturer. Don't even know what that is. So it's Nakanoshima Station. I've never had any reason to come out here. Ooh, look at this cool bridge. All right, we definitely have to go over this bridge. We found our first success for today. Although the light is red and we can't get to it. Look at this bridge. I think there's a difference in American and Japanese culture that I'm very aware of. In American culture, the individual is important. And if you're a little bit of a rule breaker, it's kind of cool. That is not the case here. There are rule breakers or whatever, but generally just, whatever the general flow of things is, that's what people do. And that's what I do. Certainly as a foreigner, I don't want to be flouting the rules all the time. So I tend to, if I know the rules, stick to them. So, with the misadventure yesterday of biking all over places that are strictly not for bicycles, I felt kind of bad about that. But I got over it. Who cares? It's today. It's a new day. What is this over here? A little fountain thing. Again, what did I just say? And I'm taking my bicycle up on places it's not supposed to be. What does this say? Doesn't say anything. This is very cool. I don't even know about this bridge. So if you see this river through the hole here, that's the Dojima River. And this up here is not Nakanoshima. So let's go back. Let's go down this hill, cut across to the left, go back up the hill, back over the other side of the bridge. All gas stations in Japan are full service, I think. There's no self-service gasoline, as far as I've ever seen. I don't drive here, but I think that's true. The other side of the magical bridge. Oh, there's a little plaque. Let's go read the plaque. It says, Dojima Ohashi, the big Dojima Bridge. And that's about all I can read. Can you read that? You would think that after living here for many, many years, my Japanese would be better, but it isn't. I can have conversations verbally, although, this is usually backwards from what most gaijin do, I can talk better than I can listen. Most people can hear Japanese, like people who live here, foreigners who live here. They hear Japanese and they can't quite, or they can understand it, but they can't quite respond fluently. I'm the opposite. I love to hear myself talk. But when people speak Japanese back to me, it's just a melange of syllables, and I can't tell where one word ends and the other begins, and it's hopeless. Hopeless. I think too much. If I would just shut up and let the language flow over me, it might be better. But I'm always trying to intellectually catch every syllable. It doesn't work. Seven and I Holdings. I don't have a water bottle with me today. I need to find some water. So anyway, that river was Dojima River. This river here is Tosabori River. All the paths that was going on yesterday by the river, I think, were not for bicycles like this. I mean, oh, that's fine, that's fine. I don't care, I think this is fine. See that sign up there? Common sign here. It's an old man walking with his little daughter or something. That means walking. Does not mean biking. That guy biked here. See, exactly what I was saying in a recent video. I tend to err on the side of caution here with rules unless I see some locals doing something that I'm like, well, I'm doing that too then. So if bicycles are not allowed here, but there's a couple of locals, saw a couple of bicycles here, then I don't care. I break whatever rules everybody else breaks. This is not a bridge, this is a big pipe. But they have these big florid pipes on a lot of rivers here. That's what I like. That's one thing I really like about Japan. It's a crazy idea. But there's like this sort of just mundane infrastructure here. And rather than try to kind of make it blend into the surroundings or make it as kind of faded into the background as possible. They just make it this big gargantuan eyesore. Like it's going to be ugly anyway, so rather than make it small ugly, we'll make it spectacle ugly. I admire that. All right. Nakanoshima is a very thin island, but for some reason, my sense is that the south side, this is the south side, is a little grittier than the north side, even though it's only half a kilometer north, if that. Uh-oh, I wonder if there's a dead end down here. Interesting little place. Isn't this nice? You could sit here and have lunch on a bench and look out over this parking lot. Ah, good times. What is this? Nakanoshima Center Building. That's not a very clever name. I like this. I've never been on this path as long as I've lived here. What's this guy up to down here? No good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get down. Look at that big blue pipe. Ugly. Awesome. Beautifully ugly. All right, well. So the island is really thin here. That was the river down there. Here's the river here. So it's only a couple hundred meters or something. Okay. I missed my chance to go. We must be getting right to the very end of Nakanoshima. And as I said, it's more industrial out here. It's not like a business area. Kami Funatsubashi Minamizume. Let's see what we can find as long as we're waiting for the red light. Nakanoshima Nishikoen, Nakanoshima West Park. And people playing tennis. I wish I had the camera on this morning, because when I was biking here to start this video, in one of the parks, there was a guy playing the saxophone. Somebody playing the saxophone, and you often see that in parks here, especially in like Ōsaka Castle Park, and the park I was at, which is the other end of Nakanoshima. There's a lot of people, for some reason, play saxophone or trumpet, often saxophone. And I guess the idea is that they live in a house or an apartment and their neighbors are real close and they don't want to bother their neighbors, so they go outside to practice. And I would submit that a saxophone is not a particularly Japanese instrument, but it is kind of weird and it's not uncommon to be biking through some lovely little Japanese style garden, and you hear a lot of noises like traffic and maybe airplanes and whatever, people talking and fountains and birds, and then in the amidst the sound you hear this. At first you're like, oh, that's a car horn or something, and then after a couple seconds you're like, wait a minute, that's a melody. And it's somebody playing saxophone. They got like a little music stand. Let's go see what's over here. Got a music stand, they got the saxophone, they got the case on the ground. They're not playing for tips or anything. Nobody would tip them, they're just practicing. They play a little bit, they're staring at the music sheet, and they pull the reed out of their mouth, and they're on, blah, 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 blah. Put it back in, play some more. Well, okay, this is the Dojima, so you can't go over here. We're leaving the island. Let's go down this thin little path. This path that says, I think that's for cars. This is how you get yourself in trouble. So anyway, there's free jazz music in the trees here in Japan. Well, this is rather junky. I love this type of area. This is much more me than that cold glass and steel corporate area. Okay. I think this might be it, right over here. Not sure how to get there. But this right ahead, somewhere, I think is the end of Nakanoshima. Unless I've already gone past the end. It's not a real friendly place for pedestrians. It's friendly for pedestrians, it's just not many people here. Now, why would they be? Oh man, I love a good industrial area. That guy's here. Okay, I think perhaps the plan is to get over there, beyond this guy, beyond the big road here. You see that blue fence, I don't know if you can see it on the video, past the traffic lights, across this big road. There's no crosswalk there. I'm just going to cross here and hope for the best. Let's go see. Let's go see what we see. I can't tell. Oh, I should have scoped this better out. Scope this out better on Google Maps, because this is just a sort of a mix of rivers here, and I can't tell where the actual island is. I don't think it's over there, but we'll go check it out real quick if I can get over there. Yeah, I don't think this is Nakanoshima anymore. All right. Well, here we can see another really cool bridge. So where's the end of Nakanoshima? It's beyond that blue thing where we just went across. Okay. A new plan. We got a new plan. Best case scenario, we get there eventually. New plans are good on here, although there's construction, so I don't know how we get through. We go across that bridge to the left over there. Oh, it says slow down. Sumimasen. Anytime there is construction, they always have it all roped off where pedestrians and cyclists can go, and there's always 200 guys telling you, right this way, right this way, right this way. Very, very, very friendly construction zones. I really like them. As a way to say, we're sorry for interrupting your stroll or your ride. So I think that's kind of part of that's why those construction companies get chosen for these jobs. Because they're friendly. Okay, I now think that was the end, where I was babbling about that light and trying to cross the big street. I think that was the end of Nakanoshima. So we'll go back there again. I'll get confused, I'll shrug, and then we'll call the video there. Back down, let's go down. See, that's the road we just went down, so we'll go down here. Well, this is a very good overview of Nakanoshima. All three of these videos, watched together, really does tell the story, I think. I'm quite pleased with myself. The first part was the rose garden and like the big kind of park area. The middle part was the business area, and then this is the industrial area. And this has to be the end right here. It looked different on Google Maps. I thought it was a little place I could stand. All right. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this ramp leaves the end of Nakanoshima. So that's it. And there you go. I've taken you to the most beautiful place in all of Ōsaka, if you have the right heart. Thank you very much for watching. I enjoyed this. Thank you for watching all three parts. If you haven't seen the other parts, there, I think, if the upload schedule went as I hoped, they're the previous two channels on this video, but go check them out. on this channel. I mean, what am I saying? So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time in the next video. I'm not quite sure where that'll be yet. I can't remember what I scheduled, but we'll figure something out. And if you'd like to watch these videos one day before everybody else, before they're public on YouTube, I upload them to YouTube, then I make them kind of private for people who subscribe to my mailing list. It's free. You go to t1dwanderer.com/subscribe, put your email address in, and then every time there's a video, I'll email you before it gets public. I'll tell you the secret link if you can watch it before. So that's it. Thank you very much. I will see you next time.